Hi guys, welcome to the Q&A. Before we get to the questions, we first wanted to go over the schedule of WinMac. WinMac will occur on Saturday, April 16, and all times listed here will be in Eastern Standard Time. And this information can also be found in the information booklet and on the website. So the competition will begin at 9:30 with students checking in. From 10 to 10:15, the opening ceremony will occur. Then we first have the dash round in individual rounds, followed by a 10-minute break. Afterward, we have the theme round, another individual round, followed by lunch. And after participants return from lunch, they will participate in the team round. And after a 10-minute break, they will participate in the guts round. And finally, we'll wrap up our day of WinMac with some fun math-related activities.
So as mentioned, we have 4 rounds in our competition. An overview of it is given here. So the first 2 rounds are individual rounds. They occur during the morning. One of them is dash round, which is 25 minutes, 15 problems, and the other is theme round, 35 minutes and 9 problems. The dash round, because of the way it's structured, each problem has less time. Therefore, the problems will be slightly easier than theme round. And theme round is also broken into 3 parts with questions related to different topics. So the team rounds in the afternoon. For this, teams will join their specified breakout rooms to work together on the team round. There are 2 team rounds. The team round is 30 minutes and 10 problems, and the guts round, which is 40 minutes and 24 problems. So the guts round is slightly different from the other rounds because it comes in 8 groups of 3 problems, and once you turn in 1 set of problems, you can't go back. The materials you need for this competition are only pens, pencils, erasers, and blank paper. You may also need a camera to take pictures of work to upload. Answers will be submitted using Google Forms, and the Google form will contain a link to the problem set. You'll be submitting your answers by taking a photo or scanning your work and uploading them into the form. And it's important to note that you will all need a Google account to upload an image. So if you don't have a Google account yet, please be sure to get one before the competition.
All right, now we have a few commonly asked questions that we saw from parent emails, and we just like to go over them just to help answer them for anyone who might have the same question. So the first one is, if I registered my child as an individual, will they have to compete in the team and guts round? Well, so while they don't have to partake in the team and guts rounds, it doesn't affect their score as an individual. We still encourage them to compete. And so participants who are registered as individuals, we assign them to teams, and we sent out the Google Sheets with all the teams that assigned teams. And then you can also choose to compete in the teams and gut rounds as an individual, or you can just you can choose to participate with your assigned team, and you will be sent to a breakout room with your assigned team, and it'll just work as a team. And also, there have been a few adjustments made to the teams in the Google Sheets, so I would advise checking that just to make sure you're updated with your team.
Another commonly asked question we get is, are aids like calculators and the internet allowed? And the answer is no. Online or handheld calculators are forbidden, as are rulers, protractors, electronic devices, and graph paper. So the only things that participants can use will be writing utensils and blank paper. They will also need a charged device with a camera to take pictures of their work.
So another question we've received is, what is the difficulty of the problems like? And because this is competitive math, it is going to look different from the math that's taught in elementary schools. But we've also worked hard to include a range of difficulties from very easy to quite difficult in our problems. But most are based around elementary school level topics. Individual rounds, because people work alone, are going to be easier than team rounds. If you check the archive section of our website, you can see examples of problems from previous years, but please note that the problems this year will be easier than before because we changed the way that problems are structured.
So now if anyone has any more questions, we invite you to privately message a Winmac staffer in the Zoom chat.
Also, if anyone has any questions that they like to verbally ask, please raise your hand using the Zoom raise hand option, and then we'll call on you.
Someone asked earlier if kids can participate from home or if they need to be together to participate. It's probably fine if they participate together, but they need to work individually for the individual rounds. So yeah.
So I received a question asking that because some of the teams have 3 rather than 4 students, would they be at a disadvantage? So for the teams that signed up as teams, we left them as is. That should be in the first section of this spreadsheet. But for the randomly assigned ones, we did assign 4 people per team for fairness, but there are some participants who have either said they couldn't participate in team rounds or decided to participate as an individual. So that's why some of them have 3. But if you have any requests to join another team or add a person so that you can have more of an advantage, I guess, yeah, feel free to contact us about that.
Yeah, and we also received a question about having to answer fill in the answer form and also the photocopy of the work. So how it's going to work is they're going to be given a Google form where they'll enter their answers, and then as soon as you submit that Google form, it'll lead you to a link to the Google form where you submit a photocopy of your answers or of your work. So yes, they have to fill in both basically. Oh, and I just saw the question about printing the answer forms. It will be a Google form that we give them, so they won't be able to print it out, so they'll be entering the answers in online.
And let me just add on to that. We have these measures just to prevent any cheating that's going on in our test, because in the past, it might have been possible for students to cheat in WinMac. So this year, we're trying to take more measures to ensure that everyone has a fair chance.
Does anyone have any more questions?
To add on to what Hineni said about submitting answers, we do have a test Google form just to show you what it's going to be like to upload answers. And this will ask you to upload images, which is going to be a part of answer submission during the contest. And yes, I just sent it into the chat. And please fill in this form to practice the same way that you would during the competition.
Yeah, hopefully this form will just give you like sort of, I guess, an idea of how submitting answers will work in the actual competition. So, oh, and just a note, there will be separate times. Well, you'll be given an amount of time to complete like the round, and then during like by the end of that time, you'll have to fill out the entire the answer form. But then you will get separate time after to submit a photocopy of your work.
So someone also asked, if you're a teacher, can you join the Zoom to watch the sessions? And yes, teachers can join us for the sessions. Just make sure that in your name, we can identify that you're a teacher rather than a participant. So you can like rename your Zoom name to include that, like a word teacher.
All right, we're giving some time for people to fill out the forms, just as a quick test. And if there's any more questions, ask away. I think, yeah.
Someone asked if we've sent the Zoom link for the contest because as someone discovered, the one in the PDF file is actually not working. So there is a follow-up email containing the link.
And we will also be sending another email before the contest with the Zoom link. And someone asked for the team spreadsheet. I'm just going to send it again in the chat. Also, some of you may be working on uploading images. We recommend that while taking pictures of work, you can take a picture on your phone and email it to yourself and then upload. Or you could take pictures on your computer.
The teams with names are the ones that who signed up with their teams, and the randomly assigned ones are the ones who just sign up as individuals.
Also, if any of your if all of your questions have been answered, then you're free to leave the Zoom. But if you have any more questions, feel free to ask too. And if you have any, if you come up with any questions after this Zoom, feel free to email us. So then we'll try to answer them right away. All right, just a note. Please, if you signed up, if you registered using a school provided email, please, if you could email us with a different email, because we can't contact you if the school email that you use blocks outside our emails. We've already ran into a problem with this. So, if you did use a school provided email to sign up, please provide us with another way to contact you. That way you can receive the information. Thank you.
Someone asked, are all the students on random teams in the same grade? And no, for WinMac, all fourth graders and fifth graders can be in mixed teams, and they will be scored in the same way. And in the form I sent, this is just a test form to help you get familiar with the way that our answer submitting will work. So we highly recommend you fill it out so that you don't encounter problems on Saturday. As for what to upload, for the image portion, you can you can really upload anything because like it's definitely not graded or anything. It's just to test and upload. So if you haven't already, please try to fill out the form.
Also, just to test, to see, because the kids will be submitting like their answers on the day of the competition, if it's possible, could you send this form to your kids and have them test it out using their own emails just to make sure that they'll be able to successfully send through and upload files. That way, the day of the competition, everything will run smoothly.
You say something to them? Right.
Hello. Do you have a question?
All right. Oh, hello. There we go. So I guess if there are any more questions, ask away. We'll be here until like 7:30-ish. If you all have no more questions, you're good to go. Thank you for attending, and we'll see you at Winmac. Best of luck. All right. Since there's not much more, thank you everybody for attending once again, and see you all at Winmac, and have a good evening.